Hi, Taylor T. Carlson here, and time to look at a DVD set today. This time around, looking at one of my favorite cartoons from the 90s, Ren and Stimpy. This is the almost complete series DVD that was just released not too long ago. It's actually a repackaging of older sets. The older sets came out in around like 2004, 2005. Those have been reissued a few times. They were combined into an almost complete series set that was just them packaged together, and this is essentially a slimmer version of those sets. Same discs and everything, but more compact and at a budget price. I'm going to unbox this, talk about the show a little, some of the bonus features, and let you know if I recommend the set or not. Here's the front cover. Of course, got your favorite characters there. Here's the spine text. Back cover, got a description of the show and more pictures of our characters. Now we open this set up. Inside the covers, you've got listings of the episodes. Discs 1 through 3 are the first and second season sets. Discs 4, 5, and 6 are the seasons 3 and a half-ish sets. And discs 7, 8, and 9 are the season 5 and some more of 4 discs. All three of those sets were initially released separately. So here we have disc 1, discs 2 and 3, discs 4 and 5, discs 6 and 7, and discs 8 and 9. Underneath disc 9 is the listing for the latter half of the episodes. I wish they hadn't put a disc on top of that, or maybe just had like a separate piece of paper with the episodes listed, but it is nice that they at least have some form of episode listing that you can refer to. Ren and Stimpy was one of the 3 original Nicktoons on Nickelodeon, premiering in August of 1991 alongside Doug and Rugrats. But Ren and Stimpy, created by cartoonist John Kay, was a whole different animal altogether. This show was packed with gross-out humor and stuff that really pushed the envelope. I'm surprised a lot of this stuff actually made it onto the air on Nickelodeon. John Kay frequently clashed with the standards and practices people. Apparently, they were allowed to do gross-out humor in exchange for more heartwarming stories, and there were a handful of episodes that certainly fell into both categories. John Kay was eventually let go from the show. When that happened, and Spumco, John Kay's company, was no longer involved, Games Animations, the Nickelodeon animation studio, took over for the latter half of the show. If you're not familiar with Ren and Stimpy, the show revolves around Stimpson J. Cat, who's a dim-witted but lovable feline, and Ren Hoek, a psychotic, over-emotional, and easy-to-anger chihuahua. It's not exactly explained why these two are together, given that they frequently clash with one another, but they're shown in different contexts throughout the series. They could be someone's pets being entered in a dog show. They could be living on their own, struggling to survive on the streets. They could be thrown in the pound. They could be outer space explorers. They could be cowboys in the Old West. They could be lumberjacks up in Canada. They explore a little bit of everything with all these episodes. And of course, there's a veritable supporting cast of characters who are depicted in different roles, again, depending on what the episodes require. These characters include the likes of Mr. Horse, Muddy Mudskipper, Charles Globe, Mr. Pipe, Mrs. Buttloaves, Old Man Hunger, Powdered Toast Man. The list goes on, and one thing that's really surprising too is some of the guest stars they got to be on this show. A handful of the guest stars on here include Frank Zappa, Jack Carter, Rosie O'Donnell, Bill Mumy, June Lockhart. The list goes on, but it is really surprising that they got a lot of people to contribute to this show, and it's pretty remarkable. How does the show age 30 years later? I won't deny that I think the earlier episodes when Spumco was producing and creator John Kay was voicing Ren were the better episodes. Billy West voices Stimpy. He also voiced Doug in another Nicktoon at the same time. Probably best known to modern audiences for being the voice of Philip J. Fry on Futurama, although he has done voices in many cartoons, certainly one of the greatest voice actors of our time, and he's still going strong. But just seeing the golden age of animation style drawing that they do in the show combined with then modern gross-out humor, it really surprised Nickelodeon to see that this show was actually a big hit with older audiences as well, and it also aired on MTV as well, which was Nickelodeon's sister channel, both of them, of course, being owned by Viacom. It was a lot of fun to revisit the series, and This set gives you 9 discs of the complete Nickelodeon run. Disappointingly, some episodes are edited because they're based on later masters, but you get pretty much, again, the whole Nickelodeon run of roughly 5 seasons. Some episodes do have some content reinstated that were removed from the original airings or subsequent ones, but it is easily the most affordable and enjoyable way to get the Ren and Stimpy series on DVD. Now, one complaint I do have, some of the discs in this set are mislabeled. This might just be my set. I don't know if this is across the whole line of this set, but in the seasons 1 and 2 discs, what's labeled as disc 2 is actually disc 3 and vice versa. And then with the seasons 5 and some more of 4 discs, it's the same thing. I also wish they'd retitled the discs just to make it one big consistent set. However, again, I am glad to get everything in one fairly convenient, affordable set. Picture quality can differ because the show was actually animated so that it looked like it was much older than it was, kind of going back to that golden age of cartoons look. Some segments are particularly more aged than others, although this is almost certainly deliberate. In addition to the main episodes, of course, you have little shorts that would air in between, before, or after the episodes. Often these were mock commercials for products or advertising mascots, with the log commercials probably being the most famous. However, I do think this set looks pretty true to how the show was meant to look, so I really can't take too many points off here. There are some decent bonus features in here, most of which are audio commentaries for the episodes. There's also some behind-the-scenes content, as well as the banned episode Man's Best Friend, which Nickelodeon absolutely would not air, and the one that was largely responsible for John Kay being terminated from the show. Ren and Stimpy was a big part of my childhood, and looking back, again, I'm very surprised to see some of the stuff Nickelodeon got away with here, or rather, John Kay and his company got away with on Nickelodeon that actually put on the airwaves. It's a great show, and certainly in a class of its own, nothing like the other Nicktoons. It's a product that I believe has stood the test of time, and I really wish they would have relabeled these discs and not made the labeling errors that they did. However, I can give this set a modest recommendation. You don't need this if you already have any of the earlier release season sets because it's like literally the exact same discs. Fans should be pleased with what they have here. Are you a fan of the Ren and Stimpy show and you've had a chance to pick up this almost complete series set yet? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel for more content because I'm always posting new videos. And be sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. See you next time.